It is 11 a.m. in Belfast. It is 1 p.m. in Damascus. I'm Monita Rajpal. You're watching CNN, the world's news leader. This is World One, live from London. In a landmark moment for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Queen Elizabeth has met the former IRA commander turned politician Martin McGuinness in Belfast. The Queen and McGuinness, who is Deputy First Minister for Northern Ireland, shook hands just a short time ago. It is a milestone in the reconciling of bitter differences between Protestants and Catholics on both sides of the Irish Sea. Correspondent Matt Foster is outside Buckingham Palace, and senior international correspondent Nick Robertson is in Northern Ireland's capital in Belfast. Let's begin with you, Nick, and talk to us about the importance of this event.
Well, if one looks at it from this perspective, that for more than half of Queen Elizabeth's reign, Martin McGuinness, through the 30 years of violence...
Thank you. Nick Robertson reporting to us there from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Let's take you now to London and to Buckingham Palace, where CNN's royal correspondent Max Foster joins us now. And what this moment means for the royal family, Nick? Max?
Yeah, Monita, this really sort of picks up from the trip to Ireland last year, where the Queen was the first.
Thank you very much for that, Nick Robertson there in Belfast. We want to see what newspapers around the world are saying about this. We begin in Canada, and this headline in the National Post, can Queen ex-IRA chief shake the troubles? And it goes on to say, just as time has aged both figures, it has likewise worn enough edge off hatred and hurt for them to stand together Wednesday. It is an anticipated handshake steeped more in symbolism than actual drama. Here in Britain, the Daily Telegraph has a comment piece with this headline, What the Handshake Means to Sinn Féin. And it goes on to say, the royal handshake was a psychological hurdle and Sinn Féin has overcome it. That indicates a tactical flexibility and a willingness to come to terms with the British establishment. And finally, in Ireland, there's a guest editorial in the Irish Independent with this headline, Are Sinn Féin brave enough to shake my hand? It's written by the son of a prison officer killed almost 30 years ago and says Sinn Féin continue by all means possible to try and distance themselves from their past. What better way to do this than a photo opportunity with Her Majesty? Yes, some people may fall for this, but I feel the voting public are more clued in than that, and they will see this PR stunt for what it actually is. And you can there's much more still to come here on World One. We'll be right back. Syrian rebel fighters are battling to shake the government's stranglehold on Damascus. Activists say clashes have broken out this morning in the suburbs of the capital. Now, a pro-government TV station has become the latest front line in the conflict. Assad has never looked so isolated. At home, the swelling ranks of the armed opposition are threatening his government, and abroad, tensions with Turkey could be coming to a head after Syria shot down a Turkish fighter jet. This report comes from ITN's Bill Neely in Damascus.
Officially, he's welcoming his new government.
Bill Neely reporting. You're watching World One, live from London. 30 days to go. Will London be ready to host the World? Straight ahead, we go live to the city's fabled Tower Bridge. Just 1 month to go to the start of the Summer Games here in London, and that means the race is on to complete all the temporary venues. In the last hour, giant Olympic rings were unveiled and lowered into position on Tower Bridge. You may recognize it. It's one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. Now to London's Tower Bridge, and Sir Craig Reedy is there. He's on the board of the organizing committee for the London Games. So Craig, thank you very much for being with us. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're very nearly ready. Yep, 1 month to go. We're just putting the final overlay on all the indoor venues and completing the structures.
It certainly is an exciting time for Londoners and for those around the world who are hoping to visit London as well for the Games. So Craig Reedy, we wish you the best of luck, and thank you very much for joining us here on World One. Well, training to compete in the Olympics is a test of endurance and commitment, but few athletes heading for the London Games can have faced challenges like Egyptian sprinter Amr Saoud. Nema Al-Baghir has his remarkable story. Watching World One, live from London. History made. Queen Elizabeth shakes hands with a man who spent years. Murray Coleman is a lecturer in modern Irish history at Queen's University in Belfast. He joins us now live via Skype. Dr. Coleman, thank you very much for being with us. If you could give us an idea of just how, we've been talking about how important a moment this is. What is it about this moment that signifies to you that this would have been unthinkable a decade ago?
I think this is really the culmination of a very long process going back to the start of the current Northern
Ireland. Much for your time. We appreciate that. And during that interview, and perhaps we can see those images again, that footage as well, the Queen was seen there shaking hands with Martin McGuinness. He was second in line there. As you can see there, she's shaking hands with some officials, but there she is now shaking hands with the Queen, with Martin McGuinness, a former IRA commander and now a politician. They held hands, as we see there, for several minutes, for several seconds, I should say, but there was no, they didn't speak. We understand that Martin McGuinness did say a few words, but we don't know exactly what he said. She smiled and then moved on. We want to take you back to Syria now, and that's where an attack on a pro-government television station has killed 3 people. Syrian state TV says armed terrorists carried it out. CNN's Rima Maktabi is following the story for us from Abu Dhabi. She joins us now live with more on what more do we know about what exactly happened, and what is what is Damascus saying?
Monita, it's Al Ikhbariya, a TV station, and this station is a news channel.
Rima, thank you. Rima Maktabi there in Abu Dhabi. Afghanistan ranks as one of the most dangerous places for expectant mothers. A woman dies from pregnancy complications there every 2 hours. It is an alarming statistic, but new programs are working to make pregnancy and birth safer. CNN's Mohammed Jamjoon reports. Welcome back. Well, they are the reigning world and European champions, and Spain remain in contention for an unprecedented 3rd successive trophy. Alex Thomas is here with a look at their chances. Optimistic?
Yes, and I know how much you suffered over the last 2-day break at Euro 2012, but the football action resumes later. Spain taking on Portugal in the first of the semi-finals.
See, I could say I would like to see a Federer Djokovic final, but then I'd also like to see Nadal in there as well, so you can't have 3. It's a tough one.
And I think Federer and Djokovic are in the same half of the draw again.
Wow.
So they're going to meet in the semis.
It's a tough one. It's exciting.
Yeah, Nadal, Djokovic again in the finals, got that written all over it.
Don't write off the Fed.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do not write off Roger Federer.
And Tim told us.
All right. Thanks for that, Alex. You are watching World One live from London. Remember this?
People do. They try other people.
The storm named Debbie is slowly moving over the Florida peninsula, drenching the region with record rainfall. Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center with more on that. Hello, Mari.
That's right, Monita. This is a really historic event here happening as well as far as weather is concerned. Back to you.
Mari, thank you. Sorry. You're watching World One live from London. I'm Monita Rajpal. We leave you now with a look back at the life of Nora Ephron, the respected Hollywood screenwriter for hit movies like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle, died Tuesday at the age of 71. She had leukemia. Corinne Winter looks back at her life and her legacy.
Considered as one of the most influential female authors and screenwriters to emerge from the 20th century, many argue that Nora Ephron was born to write. The